Hello everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another live stream here at my YouTube channel. Today's live stream is going to be all about Emboss Resist, and I'm going to be using my Splatter texture background stamp. I haven't seen this one used too much, and I haven't used it myself too much, so I thought it would be really fun to play with it tonight. Hello to everyone over in the chat: Lois, Lola, Pam, Jane, Ida, I guess it's Ida, I'm not sure how to say, Sheila, Leanne, hey Leanne, Cairo, Queen Ease, I guess. I guess that's your name. I recognize your name. Hello to all of you over there in the chat. I'm glad you're here tonight. Hopefully this live stream will go pretty smoothly. I didn't need to do a lot of prep because everything I'm going to be showing tonight is going to be happening in real time. So let's flip over to the overhead. And oh, that's a card I have to address. I forgot I was about to address it before it was going live. Also, it looks like my overhead camera is a little bit dark. Hold on, let me adjust it. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. All right, so like I said, we're going to be using the Splatter texture background stamp tonight, and I'm going to be doing Emboss Resist. So in order to do anything with it, I need to do the embossing first. So we're going to do 3 backgrounds, all the same, you know, using this one background stamp. So I'm just gonna set up my stamp wheel so that I can do all the stamping at the same time. So I'm gonna put my A2 card front down into my stamp wheel. And you know what? I found myself using my stamp wheel more and more these days. You can do all the same things with your MISTI. It's just like whatever floats your boat. This is what I'm doing, especially since now that I have a grip mat in my MISTI. I can do like literally whatever I'm doing in my stamp wheel. I can also do it in the MISTI. Okay, so I'm just marking where those corners are so that as I switch out the other 2 pieces of cardstock, because I'm making 3 cards, when I swap them out, my background stamp will be in the right spot. And that means I only have to put the background stamp onto my stamp wheel plate once. Yes, Bianca says that would make a great heavy snowstorm stamp. It definitely would. Look at that. That'd be great. All right, so I'm just going to peel this up. I don't have to worry about warping it or stretching it or anything, because even if it does, it won't show. Okay, there we go. And I want all of the really heavy texture right at the bottom, and then it can kind of fade up to the top. All right, put that onto my stamp wheel plate. All right, and before I go in with my stamping, I'm going to use an anti-static powder tool. I'm doing Emboss Resist tonight, so that means I'm going to be doing heat embossing first, melting it, and then doing all the ink blend. Brenda's asking the little corner things. These are from the Ton. These are their, I don't know what they call them anymore. They're like corner, I don't know what they're called. I had my own version of these and then realized that, well, one of you guys alerted me that they were already on the market, and I'm like, oh, never mind. So I did not release mine. Mine were probably twice as large. So I've been using the Ton ones. Okay, so anti-static powder tool. All right, and then I'm going to use Versamark ink. So here's my Versamark. I can't remember what they're called. If Andrea or if Amanda's here or Dana, any of my mods, if you could find them over at the Ton's website and put a link in the chat, that would be amazing. Carrie's asking where I posted the August calendar for the members. Go to my channel page and then go to, I think it used to be labeled under community or maybe under posts, but look for that. I posted that on Friday. Alrighty. Stamp that down. I'm going to use my Stampin' Bug stamp press to really 50 Shades of Crafting. The alignment guides from Altenew are much larger. They do a similar thing. I have those as well, but I've been using these small ones from the Ton as of late. Ton corner guides. I almost called them corner guides, but I wasn't sure. Thank you, Andrea. All right. I'll lift this up. And I'm going to stamp this one more time just to make sure, because that's a really big background stamp. I don't have to press it too much this time. I'm just going to kind of walk my fingers over it. Okay. Lovely. I'll set that to the side, and I'm going to peel up this, and I'm going to set my stamp wheel to the side while I do my heat embossing. So I'm going to start with Gilded. This is a gold embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. Oh wow, it's even more textured there at the bottom, because I couldn't see where it was applying the ink, you know. So it's going to be pretty textured down there at the bottom, which I don't mind, because that's kind of what we're going for here. Okay. It'll actually allow some more of the color that I'm going to be adding with ink blending. It'll allow more of that to show through. I'm going to heat up my heat tool. Just letting it heat up a little bit until it's nice and hot. Then I can start embossing. There we go. Now it's hot enough. Kind of wish it would have gotten more of this down here, but that's just me, user error, not stamping it well enough. So now we know for these other backgrounds, I've got to stamp it a little bit more. Okay, moving on, let's go to the next one. And because I put those little corners in, I can just place that right down. Do my anti-static powder. And we'll do another background. You know what? Just because I want to see where I'm stamping, I'm going to switch to a white pigment ink. If I can find it. Oh, right here. A white pigment ink. So I should be able to see it sitting up on top of the cardstock in this case. So I'm hoping it'll be a little bit easier to see if I've stamped it enough. You know what I'm saying? Really get a lot of that pigment ink applied down here at the bottom. It's hard to really see it because it is white cardstock, but I'm really hoping that I'll see it better this time. Okay. Once again, you know what? I'm going to do the Kathy Rakusin method. She uses her elbow. She goes in with her elbow and she just like goes for it. Because you can get a little bit more pressure from your elbow. Okay, let's see how this worked. Can I see it? Oh, I do see it, and it looks lots better. Like if I tip it in the light, I can see it. All right, I'm just gonna go with that. Just the one time, because I think that's gonna be good. All right, move this out of my work surface, or away from my work surface. I'm gonna come in with Alabaster. This time it's gonna be white. And hopefully we have a better, oh yeah, I can already tell. Can you guys see that? It's a much better impression this time. I should have just done my elbow the first time. We might have to redo the gold, just because I think this is going to look so much better. Just hitting it until it melts. It's a lot of embossing powder right there, so it takes a minute. What's interesting with that one is it hardly warped this time around. That's crazy. Yeah, either way. Julie is wondering why I'm using the stamp wheel. Well, because it's a stamping platform. You can use whatever you'd like. This also works in a MISTI. I just happen to have my stamp wheel out. All right, so I'm going to put this down in the corners again. Press that down. Use my anti-static powder tool because I just put my greasy fingerprints all over that. And then we're going to stamp in white pigment ink again. I think that was a good method last time. Like really inking up this bottom portion. And then coming up and getting the top as well. Okay. All right, we're going in with the elbow again. The elbow seems to be where it's at. Yeah, the Stamp Wheel 2.0 is great. The original Stamp Wheel is still good, but I like the larger size of the Stamp Wheel 2.0 because, I mean, if I had to like open it like this, like a MISTI, it would take up lots more space, but I don't have to do that. Like I can just pick up my wheel and set it aside, just like that. All right, lift this up. Set the stamp wheel aside, and this time we are going in with, you called it, my third favorite embossing powder, silver. So we're going in with Sterling from Brutus Monroe. Oh yeah, that looks great. The more I've done embossing with pigment inks, the more I love it. It's almost foolproof for me in comparison to using like Versamark, but it could also be that my Versamark pad is dry. That could also be why. Okay. embossing powders away. And we'll emboss. Okay, so now we have gold, silver, and white, although I'm tempted to redo the gold. Let's redo the gold. I don't like how that turned out. So let's just redo the gold before I clean off my stamp. Because why not? It won't take much effort to just redo that gold one. Anti-static powder. What are the containers I'm using for my embossing powders? They're actually meant for sandwiches. They're a sandwich container by the brand Systema or Systema. I'm not sure. You can find them on Amazon, or I want to say the Container Store carries them as well, but they're good ones. 50 Shades of Crafty is asking, how does your paper not buckle from the heat? You know what? I think it's because I have the embossing powder practically everywhere on the cardstock. So like there's nowhere for it to warp. I kind of find that most of the time when I get warping with heat embossing, it's because I'm heating areas that do not have embossing powder on them. Like the paper is heating up too much with nothing on it. So by embossing pretty much everywhere on the card, I think that's how I'm getting it to be a little bit more even and it's not warping as much. Does anyone else find that in the comments? Like, let us know in the comments. Do you find that as well? Like, if you're doing like a large background stamp, I find that it doesn't warp as much in that case for that reason as well, because you're heating up the entire area. Okay. I feel like we're going to get a better impression this time. Okay. Lift that up. And going for gold again. Is Brutus Monroe Sterling lighter than other companies? I have not noticed it being different. It seems about the same to me. It could be, you know, what lighting you're looking at it in. Oh, that's so much better. I think the elbow is what did it. Okay. All right. Yeah, that is so much better this time around. Okay, Scrabby Cat, when you're saying ad number 4, are the ads interrupting the video or is it off to the side? This is my test because YouTube is saying, we're not going to interrupt the video. Oh, I just put my fingernail through that. We're not interrupting the videos anymore. I'm like, are you? Are you? So I'm testing it. There we go. So I left the ads on tonight. And I called it. I'm like, someone's going to say something about the ads. Okay, you guys are saying they're interrupting the video. YouTube lies, I don't know. They said, we're not going to interrupt the video anymore. I haven't had ads on my lives for many months, and I was in the YouTube studio. If you guys do videos as well, you might know this. I was in the YouTube studio, and it was like, I turned off ads again, and then it had a pop-up, and it's like, try our new ad thing where we don't interrupt your live videos. It will only have an ad adjacent to the video. Like, it's not interrupting the actual video feed. It's only going to be off to the side. I was like, oh, that's perfect, because they used to give us control over that. Like, we could say we don't want any video ads. We only want ads off to the side. And then they like took that away from us. And it sounds like they're lying and they're not bringing it back. So I don't know. It also could be dependent upon where you are in the world, because I've heard that that can determine if you're getting lots of ads or not as well. Okay. So sorry, y'all, they're on tonight. All right, I'm gonna do an initial clean with a baby wipe, maybe a second baby wipe, because this white pigment ink is just everywhere. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then I'm gonna come back in with a scrubber block. Just because, you know what I mean, I love white pigment ink, but I hate cleaning it up. It's so annoying. Android, well, it depends. It said it would be off to the side when people are watching it on their computers or mobile devices. Like, the ad would be below the video or whatever. It might be that those of you who are getting ads, it's because it's like you're watching it full screen or something. Maybe? I don't know. Is this my third baby wipe? I think it might be. Vicky, same. Same. When people are like, I don't like the ads. I'm like, what? Like, I forget that there are ads sometimes, because I am the first one that if there is an option to remove ads from like a game I'm playing, I'm like, done. Remove. I think it's because I'm kind of like, I know what it, you know, that's how they're getting paid, you know, obviously is the ads. But if I'm enjoying the game, like, I don't mind paying like $1.99. Now it's ridiculous when they're like $20 to remove ads. I'm like, forget you. I delete the app. But anyway. Okay, this is a block, a scrubber block from Hero Arts. It's great for cleaning your stamps. I just sprayed it with a little bit of Ultra Clean stamp cleaner, and then it really gets in there and like cleans off your stamps. But the cleaner is very greasy. It's kind of really oily. So I tend to wipe down my stamps after using that as well. I have heard though, maybe it even says it on it, it does condition stamps, does it? Doesn't say. I do know that the stamp cleaner, like this is one that can be used on clear or rubber stamps, and that the stamp cleaner, I think from Hero Arts, that says it helps condition your rubber stamps so they don't get dry and crack on you. I have heard that. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I have to clean off my stamp wheel. Whatever. Donna, same. Why does the plate seem scratchy? What do you mean? Like where it's got these little circles on it? Those are etched. Like it's to help you place stamps if you're going to do like a rotating of the stamp plate. That's what that's for. If that's what you mean. Unless you think that the plate otherwise is scratchy. All right, I'm just going to clean up this. Oh, and apparently I had some blue ink on here. I don't know where that's from. Isn't that fun when you like clean off your Misty or your Stampwheel really well and you're bringing up colors you're like, I have not used purple in 3 months. Oh, you thought I was just cleaning the plate. No, I was cleaning the stamp and the plate. Yeah, that would be confusing. I'm pretty sure that the stamp cleaner that Hero Art sells and the SSS Stamp sells, I think it's the same cleaner. I think they're purchasing them from the same company and just putting their label on it. I could be wrong, but they really behave the same way, so I kind of think they are the same. Okay, and then to put this back on the sheet, I'm going to go like this, and then peel it all up, and then put this back down, and then we're going to get to the fun part, which is the colors for the ink blending. So Emboss Resist, if you've never done it before, is basically when the melted embossing powder, it creates like a slick surface on top of your project. And then when you add ink over top, the ink goes to the paper, but then you can wipe off the ink off the embossing. It's really fun. Okay, let's get some, I'm gonna ink blend on top of just some inexpensive computer paper. And I like to use this because I feel like it's less messy. Now, I have a glass mat here, and I had someone last week, I think it was someone on my member live, it was a live stream for my members. I was ink blending onto paper like this, and they were like, why aren't you just ink blending onto your glass mat? You can just wipe the glass mat clean when you're done. And I explained that I don't like to not know where the ink is on my black mat. And I feel like when the ink gets on the glass, then it transfers to the bottom of my paper, bottom of the project, and then it just gets everywhere. And we all know my aversion to having ink on my hands, right? No inky fingers. Okay, so I picked out 3 different color combos. We're going to start with the first one with the white right here. And these are the colors. Aren't those really fun? Like for summer, I thought that'd be totally fun. So we're going to start probably with the Buttercup because I don't want the yellow to get completely overwhelmed by the other colors. I had to move my blending brushes onto a Raskog cart, like one of those IKEA carts. But really, I'm just going to be using these brushes. These are the ones from SSS Stamp. So I'm just going to bring these out on my work surface here, and they'll just live over here, and I'll grab them as I need them. So I'm going to start with yellow. And I'm going to start from the end where there's a lot of that embossing, because we want to make sure we get the yellow up into the area that's kind of above the embossing so that we see some more of the yellow. Yes, Leanne, woodpeckers. There's the woodpecker sound. All right, I'm going to blend this up quite a bit because I still want there to be some yellow even as we go into the pimento. Okay. And I'm going to take a microfiber cloth and I'm going to wipe that off the embossing, and it just brings back that nice stark white color. Do you guys see how bright that is? I think that's crazy. Okay. So now we're going in with pimento, which is kind of like an orangey red color. I love it. I think it's so pretty. Let's use, I'm going to go with orange. An orange blending brush. There we go. I'll hold that so you don't get the woodpeckers. All right, and then we're going to bring pimento in. And I'm going to try to get it blending down into that buttercup really well. kind of like this red orange shade. I love it. The more I use it, the more I love it. Okay. And I'm going to be blending right over that with Dragonfruit, so I'm going to wait to clean up over the embossing powder till I'm done with the Dragonfruit. Okay, so I'm going in with pink. And I think Dragonfruit might be one of my favorite colors. I mean, let's be real. I love like every color, but this like magenta, oh, love it. It's the same reason why I love Picked Raspberry in the Distress line. That the color just, I love it so much. Almost like a true magenta. I'm loving how these are blending. These colors are delicious. They're very summery. I love it. And I know I'm getting ink on my fingers. Well, maybe not too bad. Okay. So now I'm going to come back with my cloth again and just wipe off any of that. And we're left with this amazing background with that embossed pattern, but it's resisted by the embossing powder. So cool. I love that. All right, we're going to go to another combo this time. Let's do silver. And the colors I've chosen for that, let me get these out of the way. For the silver one, I'm going to be doing Lakefront, Watermelon, and Lilac. I know it seems weird, but I think it's going to be really pretty. So we're going to start with Lilac. Yes, Judy, it does look like sherbet. All right, I'm going to start with Lilac. So I'm grabbing my purple. Getting that nice and inked up. I think my Lilac ink pad probably needs re-inking now that I think about it. So we'll be lucky if I get a lot of this lilac on here. You know what? It needs re-inking. I'm going to go get the re-inker because it's hardly putting anything down. Okay. Here we go. And we're just doing a spot re-inking, so I'm going to try to be really fast about it. Oh yeah, it's absorbing right away. Do you see how quick that's absorbing? I'll have to give it a nice, really good re-inking here in a minute. But like, there's this little puddle right here that's taking its time to absorb in, but it's actually absorbing quickly. It's almost done. So that's how you know your ink pad was really dry. Just bringing that lilac in here at the bottom. It's going to blend into watermelon. So I want to bring it up quite a bit. And it's okay if it has some splotchy wet spots. Okay. Just going to wipe that off. I feel like there's a spot right here that didn't melt all the way. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, it was a spot that just looked darker than the rest of it, you know? It was kind of weird. Okay, coming in with watermelon, which is more of a pink. So let me grab my pink brush. Get that watermelon. And we're just going to take it kind of like right across. Oh, I don't think I've ever blended watermelon and lilac together, but it might be a new favorite. It's really pretty. Granted, the lilac will dry back quite a bit, so will the watermelon, but I currently love how this looks. All right, and then we're going to go into Lakefront, which I'm almost thinking we might get a little bit of a purple overlap. So it might have been a misstep to do it in this order, but we'll see. Okay, going in with Lakefront. And Lakefront probably needs to be re-inked, I can kind of tell, but I'm not going to worry about it because I want to have more control over how it's blending. So having it be a little bit less juicy might work to my advantage right now. And I can just build up the color a little bit at a time. Okay, wipe that off, and I feel like I have another spot right here where the embossing powder didn't melt all the way. It didn't fix it, so that's okay, whatever. Okay, but it is hot right now, so I'm gonna wait. Okay. All right. Kind of an unexpected color combo, but I like it. I'm not mad at it. Okay, so for the gold, we are going to go blues and greens. We're going with Peacock, Parsley, and Sprout. I rarely use Sprout, so this should be fun. And I'm going to grab my green. I feel like my brush is a little hard. I almost chose a yellow for this transition, like it's transitioning from that to that to that. I almost picked a yellow, but then I was like, no, I don't think the yellow will show as well against the gold embossing powder. So that's when I decided to go with Sprout, because I wanted it to really show against the, you know, against the gold. Okay. Oh yeah, that other one was kind of Northern Lights, wasn't it? All right, I'm just getting a little bit more of this Sprout on here. And then we can blend it into Parsley. I'll just go ahead and wipe off any of that ink. There we go. So now we're going in with Parsley, much more intense green. I think my Parsley needs to be re-inked too. I will say this, I love my Concord and 9th inks and my SSS stamp inks with the foam pads, but they do require a lot of re-inking. So I really recommend if you're buying foam ink pads, just go ahead and buy the re-inkers at the same time. Okay, it's a little splotchy, but I think it will actually even out as it dries. All right, and then we're coming in with Peacock. So I'll switch to a blue. really think this Emboss Resist always looks amazing over really dark, intense colors because it really makes the embossing stand out. It's my favorite. So like this top edge on each one of them where I've used a little bit of a more intense color. Oh, I love it so much. Okay, like I said, a little splotchy, but I think it will actually dry back over time. All right, wipe off any of that ink that's sitting on top of the embossing powder. And then let's look at all three backgrounds. All right, so we have the gold, the silver, and the whites. All very different. Julie's asking, how are the foam pads holding up to using them for blending? Great, like no issue. I think the only thing that might be an issue is if your brushes aren't really soft. Like a couple of mine were a little bit on the scratchy side tonight, but not too bad. I'm getting off any ink that's sitting on my fingers. I was using Concord and 9th inks. Okay. Now we get to stamp some greetings for each one of these. So I'll get out my stamp wheel. We're just going to stamp some greetings so that we can die cut them, and they're all going to be on white. I'm going to move these little corners out of the way. Okay, and the stamps I'm using are the Mixed Greetings Love stamp set and the dies. This came out around Valentine's Day, and I'm like, this did not get enough love. Let's break it out. Okay. Do I film my member lives to rewatch later? They stay on my YouTube channel, so if you miss one, you can go back and watch the replay. Or if you are not a member today, but you decide to join, you could watch old ones. You could watch the old member lives. Okay, so this is my first one I'm going to stamp. And I'm just, actually, I probably could do it this direction too. Yeah, we'll just do it this direction. All right, this one's going to be in Plumberry to go with this one, just because I wanted it to be a little darker than the background itself. Okay, might need to stamp this twice, we'll see. No, I'm not going to stamp it twice. I think it'll be fine. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sika. I love this greeting as well. Sometimes you just got to tell people that you like them how they are. They don't need to change. Okay. The next greeting that I'm doing is this one, which says, love you, like you, adore you. And that one's going to be in Peacock for our teal and green one. All right. This one's really solid. I most definitely might want to stamp it multiple times, depending on how well it stamps this first go. We'll see. Oh, I've got a little hair or something on it. Let's stamp that one more time. Maybe it'll fill in that little weird spot. Oh, let's get it in the right spot. There we go. Oh, solid. Love it. Okay. And for our third greeting, I thought we'd use just the Sending Hugs greeting right here. It just says Sending Hugs. Let's put that right there. So, I mean, yes, it's technically a Valentine's Day greeting set. Does it even have a Happy Valentine's Day? It does have one little Happy Valentine's Day in there. But it just has like really good generic year-round greetings, you know? Okay, so this one's going to be in Lakefront to go with our Watermelon Lilac Lakefront. Oh yeah, and I definitely want to stamp this twice. There we go. It's looking pretty dark, almost like the peacock, but I think it's just because I stamped it twice and it was pretty juicy. When it dries back, it will definitely dry back to the lakefront color. Okay. Let's take this out. Then I can put my Misty back together and into the drawer where I store it. Okay, so these are still pretty juicy. I think I'm going to hit them with my heat tool just to kind of prevent any of it transferring to my plates in my die cutting machine. If you guys had that happen, I totally had that happen. Peggy's asking if I like the stamp wheel over the Misty. You know, I think I like them equally. I never thought that I would like something as much as I like the Misty, but I really like the stamp wheel, and I feel like the stamp wheel does everything that the Misty does plus more, because you have that removable side. So if you have like a larger project or something, you could have your paper hang out the side of the stamp wheel. I really like that feature. So I don't know. I like that the footprint of the Misty is a little bit smaller. Like initially you do have to have that space to open the door, but I like both. I like both. I don't know that you need both, but I like both. Okay. My children, aka cats downstairs, are playing by the front door. I can hear them. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of tape to hold these dies in place, just because I'm afraid they're going to move around. The magnetic mat for my Anna Griffin Empress is super strong, but sometimes if I am cutting more than one greeting, sometimes it likes to play tricks on me and move around. I think it's because, you know, it is magnetic, and once you introduce more metal things that are being attracted to the magnet, whatever, I think it just messes with it. I was not a science major. I don't know. This is just what I have observed. Okay. In fact, I need to swap my plates because I like to use the really messy plate on top and have the clean plate on the bottom. I'll just run this through my machine. Hey, Dana. Okay, looks like these are lovely and perfect. They cut out like a dream. We love that. I have no idea where these were, but I'm gonna just find a spot on my little magnetic mat. I think they were right there and there. And then, yeah, that works. Okay, we are rolling right along. We're ready to put our cards together. I'm going to grab 3 card bases. How many is that? 3, perfect. And then we can put these cards together. So in the chat, let me know when you guys are adhering like a full card panel to a card base, what is your preferred adhesive or method of adhering it, and why? Like, is there a specific reason why? Let me know. I will let you know what my favorite is, and that is Tombow Extreme Adhesive because it's super strong, and I don't think I've ever had a card fall apart when I've used it. And I get the tape runner right up to the edge on all 4 sides, and then I do like about 3 swipes through the middle, and it's perfect. All right, pressing that down, and like, even though it was a little warped, it looks great. Okay, a bunch of you are saying glue, and I'm going to tell you why I don't use glue. Okay, the reason why I don't use glue is because it came back and bit me on the bum when I was using Distress Oxide. Some of you guys might remember this from years ago. I had done a Distress Oxide background, blended it. It was really pretty. I loved it. Did not use any moisture with it whatsoever. And then when I glued it to the back, or put the glue on the back and put it on my card front, the moisture from the glue altered the state of the oxide ink. So like any inks that react to moisture, I don't want to use glue anywhere near them because that just like totally messed things up. Do you guys remember that happening? It was in a video. I talked about it. But that's why I don't use glue. I find that tape runner, this tape runner in particular, is super strong. And I feel like I have more control over it. Like, it's so strong, like, look at this. Like, it's not coming off. I'm pretty sure, what glue was it? I'd have to go back and look. I know what card it was. Oh no, see, there we go. That's the problem with using tape runner. I know what card it was. It was in a video where I did a bunch of birthday cards, and I did this really pretty ink blended background. I challenge one of our mods, so I think Dana and Andrea are here. If you go and find that video, it was like a bunch of birthday cards, like 5 or 6 birthday cards. And it was a Simus's stamp release. I could probably find it if I search for it, but I'll let you guys figure that out. Okay, so here are, I'm going to put that right there, and this one's going to go right there. Simple cards tonight. So simple. The tape runner that I always use is Tombow Extreme. Where do I get my card bases and envelopes? My card bases, I have, like I purchased them cut from cutcardstock.com. I do that because I prefer Neenah Solar White, 110 pound, and they carry that cardstock. And you can have them cut an entire ream all at once for you. So that's what I've had them do. And they will even score them for you if you want. Next time I order card bases, I'm going to have them score them. But I have not done that in the past. And then my envelopes, generally, the ones that I really love are from Paper Source. But there are a bunch of great crafting companies that have envelopes, like Gina K, Simon, does Pink Fresh? Honeybee has really great like patterned envelopes that are really nice. Okay. Glue stick or liquid glue on top of their tape or foam tip so they have a bit of wiggle room. Yes. I think Kathy Zielski, that's who I saw that tip from. She puts the foam adhesive on and then she puts a little bit of liquid glue on the foam tape so that she has some wiggle room when she applies it. I've done that before, but I find that it's like one more step that's like I don't necessarily want to do. And instead, I just very lightly apply the foam tape. And if you do it really lightly, you can always lift it back up. So like very lightly, and then I could lift it until I get it in the right spot. Okay. Last one. It's really just like personal preference, you know, like what adhesives you use or your method or whatever. And sometimes if you try another person's method for a bit, you might find that you love that method and that you prefer it that way. But really it's completely personal preference. There's no like right or wrong way. Okay, adding, just getting a little of the release tape off. Gina, well, not always. Gina says I'm very steady-handed. Not always. Sometimes it's just wrong. Okay, I think if you wanted to, you could step these up by adding, you know, some little hearts, you know, like some other things. But I'm going to keep these really simple tonight. Just like this. Ta-da! Love that. That turned out so well. I'm going to do a quick little spiel for those watching the edited replay tomorrow, whenever I get it uploaded. Last week it was interesting trying to find time to get them uploaded, but I did it. It wasn't till like Thursday or Friday, but I did it. Okay, so here we go. So here are the 3 cards for tonight with that Emboss Resist ink blending. I think they turned out so fun. This is a great way to just try out different ink blends, see how they work, see what you like. I think it's a lot of fun. I like this white one too because it's just really stark. It looks really, really cool. So I will be back with another video hopefully very soon. Sneak peeks are happening for my August release starting tomorrow on Tuesday. What is tomorrow? The 5th. So watch for those. I'll be sharing them here at YouTube and at Instagram and Facebook. So you can watch out for my new August products coming out on the 9th. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in another video very soon. Okay, here we are. We're at the after party, and it is so warm. My glasses are fogging up. What is happening? I think it's because I'm like, you can wear a lightweight summer sweater. No, you can't, Christina. It is too hot. It is too hot. When is the AC going to turn on? Seriously. Okay. So, anywho, here we are. Any other questions that I missed? You all had such great questions tonight. All about adhesives and different things. Let's see. Card bases. Yes, E. Miller, note to self, glue doesn't play well with water reactive inks. That is exactly what I discovered. Yes. Oh, Andrea says, may it have been this one? Hold on. Oh, I can't click on it. Hold on. Let me see. I have to go over and look in the control room so I can click on that link. Hold on. Let me find it. Where is it? All right, I'm looking. That is the one. That is the one, Andrea. So let's see. yeah, around the 4-minute mark. Nope, just kidding. I'm adhering. I really should just, hold on. Let me see if I can just play this video for you guys, because then you can see it happening. Oh my word, it's hilarious. Okay. I have it queued up. How do I, hold on, to make sure I don't have anything on my screen that I can't show. If I do a screen sharing thing, okay. Let me see here. New screen share overlay. That's the one, but it's like huge. Okay. It's like right over my head. That's cute. How do I make it smaller? That is a really good question. I don't want it to be the whole screen. I want it to be like a portion. How do I make it a portion? Well, crap. You know what I should do? Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm going to see if I can download the video and then just play it. Because that would be the ideal. What is this called? It's my birthday. Okay. Dang it. How do I? There we go. Download. We're going to do this, and then I'm going to queue it up and you can see what happens. Although I'm sure you won't believe me. I think it's fascinating. Okay. Am I going to do a card using my Stars Baby background stencil? Maybe. I could. I mean, or I can just share the footage from when I made my cards for the release. Carrie says, are the SSS Stamp large brushes your go-to? Well, I have three favorite brushes. I like the Altenew mini blending brushes. Then I like the SSS Stamp large blending brushes when I'm trying to do like a heavy application of ink. But if I want a lighter application of ink and I want a little more like fade control, then I like the Pink Fresh, like 1-inch large ones. Okay, let's see here. Hold on. We're gonna, how do I, it's gonna think we're doing. Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video at my YouTube channel. Okay, so we're skipping to like, wait, did I use a glue stick? What did I use? Nope, there's the glue. I've seen so many crafters use fun foam instead of all that foam tape. And so I used fun foam. So I thought, okay, let's try it. I cut some foam, fun foam down to the size that I needed. I put some Gina K Connect glue on the foam and then pressed it down onto my ink blended piece. Put more adhesive on back, more of that glue, and then directly onto the card front. Now, I have done this in the past without any problems, and it's worked out beautifully. It's a great way so you don't have to use so much foam tape. But I set this aside probably for about half hour to 40 minutes, and look what happened. Yeah, there you go. You can see where the moisture from that liquid glue has seeped up and added moisture onto that distress ink, or the distressed oxide ink. And as we know with distressed oxide ink, so basically, if I remember right, what I did was I decided to just add some water splotches. Yeah, there we go. I added some water splotches to try to hide it up on the corner and everything. So that's how I figured it out. Anyway, that's why I don't do it. And Sika might be right. It might be the fun foam not like absorbing the moisture like another piece of paper would. It could be the fun foam. It could be whatever. But also, I hate that I have to wait for the glue to dry. Like, I'd rather just use tape runner and just, it's done. I don't know. But I'm not sure why. I mean, like I said in the video, I'd done it in the past. Like I'd done glue in the past and it hadn't been an issue. So I don't know what that was, but I just remember that. And it was such beautiful blending and then it messed up. Erica, is it weird to hear your own voice? No, well, it used to be, but it's, you know, seriously, I think, how long have I been doing videos? Since 2006. So it's been nearly 20 years. So it's crazy. With your blending, do you always use your brushes in the same direction? No. Specifically with stencils, I make sure to change the direction. Like I'll go counterclockwise and then clockwise to make sure you get all the corners of the stencil. When I'm just blending on my own, like without a stencil, yeah, think about it. I do tend to always do counterclockwise. I think it's because I'm right-handed and I'm blending into the center of whatever I'm using, maybe? I'm not sure. Oh, Andrea, that's another good reason. I tried to glue for a panel one time. The panel kept slipping around on the card base. I was done with it then. Yeah, and it could also be just like the amount of glue you use. Like, I could see how that would be an issue. Like, I used a lot of glue on that one that we saw in the video. So, yeah. Let's see. Wait, Melanie says you've seen that happen with mirror cardstock? Like with glue? Weird. Okay. Let's see here. Did I make my little rainbow cloud hang? No, it's actually done by a Canadian artist. She went by Nova Mercury. She has since closed down her shop. She was doing a bunch of these fiber art hangings. Gosh, I've had this one since 2020. I think 2020. Before I moved to this current house, and I knew like I had a specific spot for it in this craft room. So I think I held on to it for like close to a year before I got to hang it up. Let's see here. Dana just bought a whole new air conditioning unit, and you're in Florida, so you really need it. Wow. Why did you put your more messed up clear plate on top? What? My more messed up clear plate. Oh, with the die cutting. With the die cutting. Okay. Let me switch to the overhead for this so that you can actually see. Okay. So I generally do it like this, and I will cut into the magnetic mat and also the plate. I cut into both. And when I'm cutting gold cardstock, speaking, I've got a bit of gold that's stuck there. When I'm cutting gold cardstock, I don't like to have the plate with the cuts in it down onto the gold, because the pressure from the machine will almost emboss the cut marks into the gold paper. So when I cut gold, I generally swap, and I'll have my clean plate on top so that if I have the gold face up and then this is touching the gold, that it's not going to leave any marks. So apparently the last time I done some die cutting was with gold, and that's why I had it like that. Also, a lot of people, generally, they like to cut into one plate and keep swapping it side to side and like rotating and moving it around. And then when you kind of like used up this plate to its maximum capacity, like you can't cut into it anymore, then they'll throw this one out. They'll rotate the old clean plate, and then put a brand new plate on the bottom, just to have a good system for keeping your plates in, good rotation. So that is why I moved the more messed up plate to be on top. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, who missed you more when you were on vacation? You missing your kitties, or your kitties missing you? Probably, oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, they had quite a few people that were here watching them and taking care of them. Like my friend Jen came over quite a few times. My sister stayed overnight a few times. My mom was here the entire time. So it's not like they're completely by themselves. So we probably missed them more when we were gone. And then when we're going out of town at the end of this month, their Aunt Sika is going to come and take care of them. Sika's going to come and she works from home. So Sika's going to come here and be with the kitties. And I'm excited for Sika to come and stay at the house and see the kitties. Sika, I'm still waiting to see a kitty hanging from that piece. This one over here. I don't think they can get to it. Although I did catch Fred hanging from our sliding blinds in the kitchen today. So that was fun. He's been multiple times, like, it's almost when he gets to the zoomies. Kevin chases him up the cat tree, and then Fred like tries to grab onto something to go even higher up. And so he wants to get on top of the blinds, but they're like nice blinds. They're not like just hanging slats. It's like, it's almost like these like blinds back here, like these honeycomb blinds, but like tipped up. So they're running vertical and they come out on the sliding door. And he got his paws up there and was hanging, and all the blinds like crunched down. And I was like, oh my gosh, Fred, this is why we can't have nice things. But in his defense, or rather, I'm just glad it happened this way. I was able to put the blinds back up, and kind of when I close them up, you can't even tell that he messed them up. So, yeah. Okay. Which one would try first, Kevin? I don't know. I think it might be Fred that would try hanging from that. What is the name of the place you get your card bases cut? Cutcardstock.com. Let's see. Yes, Brenda, I have a release coming out on the 9th. Let's see. Yes, late night shenanigans, for sure. Do you call your mom Fred and Kevin's grandma? No, she's a Nana. She's Nana to all my nieces and nephews, so she's a Nana to Fred and Kevin. Yep. Let's see here. All right. When is mail call? Mail call is next week. Let me check for sure. I believe it is a week from, is it Wednesday? No, Tuesday. Tuesday the 12th at 2 p.m. So I will remind you all next Monday as well that it's the next day. So it'll be the 12th. All right, let's wrap up for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining me. That was a lot of fun. I loved the ink blending and the discussion about adhesives and glues, and maybe I should try that using glue to adhere my card bases or my card fronts to my card bases, because maybe I don't need to be cautious about that if it's not that big of an issue. It might be nice just to use glue. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me tonight. I will see you all in another video very soon.